to bring all the viewers into that. And why don't you start us out here?
All right. Well, looking over at No Earth Spirits, who are using quite a few stand-ins, two other players I don't recognize. I'm guessing they've reformed a bit because I only recognize Goody / fan of Soyeon. But they're going to ban out the Doom. Not too surprising. Hard to counter the hero who counters everything, and they're going to take out Lycan as well. Lots of damage throughout the whole team with the Howl early on. He can also split push earlier than most heroes, if not all of them.
10 seconds
And
to go.
they're going to be looking for their pickups here. They've got to respond to a Razor.
5 seconds.
So heroes with high mobility are really good, as well as decent magic damage early on in the game are pretty good to shut down Razor. And they banned out the Void and the Prophet. Death
Radiant's
Prophet.
pick.
Yeah, one of the things that happens with Razors, you can't let them stay alive for too long of a period of time, and that's a mistake a lot of people make, is not focusing down the Razor. And if you can pick them up in a lineup where you have to focus multiple targets, that's when Razor really comes online. So they're going to go for the Tidehunter and the Skywrath Mage, just trying to get the Skywrath as that hero to make sure one enemy just dies immediately. The Mystic Flare is an incredible skill if you can set it up correctly. And, I think with a Tidehunter, it shouldn't be too bad. But it's one of those things that once you get to level 6, Union Gaming have to be really, really careful.
Yeah. The Gush plus the Concussive Shot and the Mystic Flare should be enough. But honestly, if you're going to kill a high priority target, just Ravage Mystic Flare and Ancient Seal, of course, to get the damage, extra damage from Skywrath. So that should be enough, but playing all blue and playing with lightning. If Union Gaming, honestly, just draft all lightning, I will be the happiest person on earth.
Yeah, no, I could see it happening, but I don't know, what else could you pick up? The Zeus, the Lina, and I don't know, I can't think of much else you can get except just buy a bunch of Mjolnirs, but either way, I mean, Disruptor, I really love the hero, and the silence is incredible. If you can catch the Skywrath and the Tide in that, these guys are not exactly the best BKB carriers. So, and even if they were, I mean, if you can get the Aghanims and the Disruptor, it doesn't even matter. But I mean, if you can grab both of them in that Static Storm, then they're shut down, and you can burst them down really quickly.
Yeah. So they're looking for the third pick right now, and I'm curious. Okay, yeah, I was waiting for the stream to flip over to catch up to where we started, and I kind of like with the modifications to the pick span. Like, you don't even need overlays anymore. It
I know.
your ticket, your league, and it looks freaking sick.
It does.
So
like
I'm pretty pleased with that.
I was trying to figure out what you could possibly do to it, because I had it open in my and what do I use, GIMP, and I was trying to figure out what tweaks I could make it do it to give it like an overlay, and you just can't. It's too good. And I really like that.
I think you were the one that suggested it, but just like a little filter.
Yeah.
To like make
Well,
the fog your own colors or
the
something.
problem with that is it has the
You really have to cookie cutter it though.
yeah, it has that that red glare you see, or the green glare when it shows which
Yeah,
team is
for when
picking or
it's their
banning.
turn.
So yeah, man, I don't know. I'm trying, man. I'm trying to figure out something to do, and I'm having trouble. But we have had a couple of picks picks and bans since we got off on that tangent. So why don't we go ahead and introduce those? It's going to be the Lich and Weaver for No Earth Spirit with the Pugna on Union. Now, Pugna is a hero we don't see too often get picked up, but really complements that whole death ball strategy that goes on. And, if he can get a little bit of space, he can go a really long way.
10 seconds to go.
Yeah, I like the Lich Skywrath together. I mean, there's no stun, but you do have really fast supports, especially Skywrath, fastest in the game of any hero. So he's got the long range slow with the concussive shot. If Lich does catch up, and then he has the I always forget the order of his spells. The Frost Blast, which is a ton of damage early and even more slow. And Weaver can chase. So as long as they're kind of dictating the game and like picking off heroes, I think it'll be okay. But later on, when like Razor can run away, you can't take them down in one combo. Then I think this lack of stuns could be a bit of a concern. They do have the Ravage, I guess, so maybe they plan on 5-manning fairly early, but that could be pretty hard against the Static Storm Kinetic Field, the Nether Blast from Pugna, and now we've got a Sand King on the field as the 4th pick, so multiple hero burrow strikes, epicenters, could get pretty dangerous.
Very dangerous. Again, it all gets up to whether or not the Tidehunter can get a really good Ravage off, and then Skywrath can take out the Razor. If those two things can happen, then Disruptor, Pugna, and Sand King on their own aren't entirely difficult to take down. But if there are any mistakes in these level 6 ultimates coming out from No Earth Spirit, then yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Union Gaming just walking over any real team fight, because right now Union Gaming have the elongated team fights that they can just draw out and take, whereas No Earth Spirit, all they have for that really is the Weaver.
Yeah, I do like Weaver. Like I said, when Razor was the only pick on the board, high mobility heroes are really good against Razor because you can just break the static link by running away and running back in. And Weaver is pretty much the perfect example. Even Skywrath is pretty good, to be honest. You can just run. So we'll see. Weaver is going to have to farm quite a bit. He'll have some help with the armor reduction of Gush and some armor added to himself from Lich. But I expect both of these teams to probably pick up a supplemental carry, semi-carry for their 5th picks.
All right, so with the Nature's Prophet taken out by No Earth Spirit and the Invoker gone on Union Gaming, No Earth Spirit, they're going to go for the Life Stealer. That is an interesting one.
LGD in the house.
LGD or Fnatic, you know? That offlane Life Stealer on Era? Come on.
One
good.
of those teams made it a little further, so...
Oh, shut up. That cuts deep, man. That cuts real deep.
I'm pretty sure it hurts everybody.
Oh, man. Why'd you do it to me? But whatever. We can get past it. It's over now. It's over.
10 seconds to go.
All right. So as that is said, we bring up the offlane Lifestealer. Is it going to be an off Lifestealer or is it going to be an off Weaver? Or are they going to shake things up a bit here?
I don't know. I'm trolling chat. I'm spamming Meepo so they think it gets picked.
Very nice.
Sorry, I was not paying attention. What about the last pick?
Okay, well, I'll go back and say it again.
We have Meepo now.
So we've got the Lifestealer, and we brought up the offlane Lifestealer from Era. Is it going to be the offlane Lifestealer or the offlane Weaver, or is No Earth Spirit going to take us for a spin here and do something completely different?
Offlane Lifestealer seems really good because he can run away, and if he does get glimpsed, it's pretty obvious. There's a bit of a delay, so he can just rage.
Oh, it's not Meepo, but...
Yeah, I know. Well, I wasn't expecting Meepo.
I wasn't expecting Axe either.
I don't know if I've cast any of like the semi-pro teams that have ever picked up a Meepo, to be honest. Which seems unfortunate because that really seems like a place where Meepo would shine, right?
Oh yeah,
Where
Meepo is an incredible hero.
Difference between the teams.
Yeah, he's an incredible
hero.
Should
be a good game.
Yep, all right, so we're going on into the game. For the people watching in-game, thank you for buying the ticket. You can get over to our Twitch page for extra chance to find items. I think we are eligible for drops. I'm not quite sure if we have the viewer or not. I don't know how that whole thing works, but aside from that, thank you for the people watching in the Twitch. If you want to subscribe, we'd greatly appreciate it. That goes directly to us as casters. None of the big Sevo guys get their dirty little hands on that. So,
for sure, we're all pretty poor.
Yeah. Anyway, so all that said, I think we're ready to go into this game here. So, well, I hate to introduce.
Man.
Yeah, or pause. I mean, is there anything else we can talk about? We can talk about the Axe right now.
Yeah, that's true. We didn't even touch on that pick at all. He's red. He's a stand-in.
Is Axe playing on the stand-in tonight?
Yeah, in the lobby he was RTK, which I feel like I recently cast, or maybe even just watched the game of RTK. I think it's like a newer team on the scene, so maybe they're just using Darky here as a stand-in from that squad.
Or they have a roster shuffle.
They're South American if Union Gaming is using them. Playing on a holiday, apparently. I logged into Reddit Dota 2 today and was greeted with the information that it's a Peruvian national holiday today and tomorrow.
You sure it's today and tomorrow? I thought it was next week.
Oh, was it next week?
I don't know. I have to go back and read that again. And all I know is I'm not playing Dota during those times.
You can talk about Axe. I'll figure it out.
I will talk about Axe.
And it's been easy, so I don't. Maybe it's not a holiday.
So in terms of games where I'd see an Axe get picked up, this is not quite the game that I'd expected. I mean, look at Banner Spirit's team, and you tell me, holy crap, what are they putting on the minimap? You tell me exactly...
Oh, they've got the macro.
How many people are going to get called by this Axe, and how effective it's going to be. I mean, I don't see the Axe really finding those 2 or 3 man calls and locking down more people.
Yeah, I think it's... I don't know. Axe is a pretty good hero overall, and like if the team fight does get out of hand and he manages to get some culling blades off, always good. Like you're never going to be upset you have an Axe when that happens.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like a response just to the Life Stealer. Like chomp through his rage so he can't TP out.
Yeah.
Not Chomp, but Call, whatever. It's been a long time since I've cast Dota, so
don't worry about it. I don't know. With the new Immortal he gets, he looks like he could chomp through stuff. I don't know. Anyway,
what the heck?
Yeah, what is this guy thinking? So we should probably introduce the teams now. Of course, we've got the stand-in for Axe, but we'll get to that. I'm going to go ahead and start with Dire, as is Chicago Ted tradition, and we're going to go for no Earth Spirit. Fan of Sorion, or better known as Goody, will be picking up the Lifestealer. We have Mikatra, or Mikatira, will be picking up the Weaver. Classius on the Skywrath Mage. A on the Lich, and Boken will be picking up the Tidehunter.
All right, carry on.
No, I'm glad you picked that team to introduce, because their names seem difficult. Over on the side of Union Gaming, they're going to be playing on the Radiant. We've got Benjaz. Is he? Yeah, he's farming, so he's playing a one-roll Pugna in the safe lane. He's going to be supported by Xander Steel here on the Sand King, who doesn't look to be too contested, or this lane in general isn't contested. So Sand King, off to the jungle he will go, and probably get a good timed Blink Dagger. I think they're pretty good at it, so maybe 7-10 minutes. Jericho supporting on the Disruptor. Heading over to the mid lane. Sorry, I'm probably making your camera work difficult.
Do not worry about
Undertaker is on the Razor here in the mid, also without an Immortal, so I don't know what's up with that. And then we already talked about him a bit. We've got Darky here. It's going to be an off-lane Axe, picking up some armor, going to soak some XP, and then probably just head into the jungle around level 3 or 4.
All right, just putting on the overlays. They don't quite fit with the overlay I'm using for Dota. I'm still using the TI-401, so it doesn't match up, but I don't care because I like it.
This can be switched, you know.
Oh, man. Looking at the bottom, looking at the top, there's multiple people going on multiple different things, but it looks like Boken will be the one to get first blooded here. He's being body blocked up by Jericho. A little bit of a lackluster first blood, if you're asking me, but he isn't able to lumber away from that one, and he will go down. Meanwhile, Darky, it looked like he was in an equal amount of trouble, but 3 trumps 2 in this scenario, as he is able to walk away.
Yeah, well, Glimpse was used too, so Tidehunter did get brought back. That level 1, it's only 600 cast range, so it's not the biggest, but it can still get you off guard, and we saw Jericho was nestled in the trees down here. But up top now we're going to look the other way. There's 2 heroes going on to Darky. They can't bring him down. The numbers advantage you mentioned is not quite enough to kill the Axe.
So the problem with Axe now is he needs to be up and close to this lane if he wants to be effective. He's already got 1 point into counter Helix, so he doesn't have any other option than to try to walk up close to lane. And Goody and Classius are just making sure that he can't get close, which is exactly what they need to be doing. And now Darky is in a little bit of trouble here. He can't quite get starved like this.
Well, yeah. So those crazy pings going down in the Radiant jungle are for the supports to stack the camp so that Sand King can farm them all later. But as we will see here, and I circled and circled again, there that ward blocking off that that medium camp you would generally pull through or stack. You know, the 2 supports going to stack them up. So they realize it's blocked. They don't have any sentries, so that can slow down the Sand King a little bit. But you do really only need that one big camp just stacked a couple times, and maybe the small one.
What I really like about how they're blocking this one, though, is that typically people will go for blocking the small camp. Hold on, I'm going to hold that thought as, top. The call in for Classius. He ends up dropping really low, but with no level 6 on Darky, I mean, he isn't able to seal the deal. Gets pretty close, though, and now he'll start scaring Goody and Classius into a little bit more of a careful position, which is exactly what he wants to do. Of course, he still has to be careful.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, actually, he's not having too hard of a time, and he's getting a lot of levels. Pretty farm-independent hero, and the jungle's, I guess, kind of taken up by Sand King just stacking. But I was maybe expecting him to get level 4 and then just go jungle really quickly, because that's when you jungle really quickly. But something we haven't really talked about mid lane, it was a duo lane for no Earth Spirit. They put Lich Weaver, which is a combination that started to get kind of popular in mid right around the time of like 6.79, that really radical patch, where duo mids sort of started to become a thing, I guess, once again. Is it being effective, though? 11-8 on Weaver, 6-3 on the Undertaker, so yeah, I think it's okay. I don't know.
Yeah, they're not doing a poor job here. I mean, dropping the Razor down, of course, he isn't, again, not a farm-dependent hero just like the Axe, who is going to probably die here in the offlane. 1 more Arcane Bolt is all they need. A couple of auto attacks to follow up, and Goody will grab that kill. So they finally bring down Darky. But it looks like in the mid lane, both Mikatira and
both selves.
So the cool thing is,
points in Plasma Field.
The Salvo will bring them right back up to where they need to be. But going back to this lane, Razor doesn't quite need the farm as much as other mids like the Shadow Fiends or along those lines. So he's going to be able to just sit close and tank up a bunch of spells because of his unstable current and just get the XP he needs out of this lane. Whereas what is really happening here is A and Mikatira are splitting up the XP, so neither one is really going to pull ahead in this mid lane. And their off-lane Tidehunter solo is dropping pretty far behind, it looks like.
Yeah, only one last hit, and he's at level 3. Is he stacking the Ancients? No, he's not stacking the Ancients either.
Yep.
You can do the Ancients any size stack, basically at level 5, level
Jericho
7.
in the mid lane, though. They're going to grab A, but Mikatira should be able to get a return kill. And now Jericho, he's caught with his pants down. And Mikatira, well, this is a very dead hold on. That glimpse actually saves his life, so well played by Jericho. And unfortunately, it's a 1-for-1. You're dedicated mid for the mid support. But still, it's a 1-for-1 in the eyes of the scoreboard, and not too terrible either way.
Yeah, and Undertaker, yeah, he got a kill on that, so it's not too bad. And he'll go back, contest the lane with that Plasma Field. That should force off the Weaver, who does actually have a bottle. And as we see, Axe has also retreated off that top lane. He gives up that kill. He gets the XP for it. It seems okay. Although he probably didn't need to die. So he heads to the jungle. No regen, though, but mid lane lots of action.
Yeah, they put 4 in this. They want to kill Undertaker, and this is exactly what they have to be doing. Razor, he was getting great XP in this lane, not too great on last hits, so even though he was a high level, he doesn't quite have his items. He doesn't have the mechanism anywhere near completed. He's only sitting on basic items like your Wraithband and your bottle, so bringing him down like that is as easy as rotating a couple heroes in and just going balls to the wall there, and they do it. They get the kill. They get out safe. No trades this time, and it goes 3-2 right now at 5.5 minutes in favor of No Earth Spirit. Taking a quick look at Golden XP, it looks like they're bringing back the graph. It was sitting a little high on Union Gaming, but nothing too substantial. Now heading its way downwards. Again, nothing that any team needs to be scared or proud of, but it still is a trend, and we might see that continue on as Fan of Saurian just soloing up this lane and shouldn't have any trouble with Darky.
Yeah, not really. Definitely going to need help either. Actually, Lifestealer, if anyone's going to get the kill, it's Lifestealer killing Axe, but I don't think Axe is going to let that happen. We see Disruptor starting to rotate over. Even the both of them probably can't kill him because you can't glimpse the Lifestealer ever because he will just rage.
That is a really unfortunate disconnect. Xanderus, he's trying to farm this lane down here, this creep wave. He's down in the jungle.
And he started running away?
Yep.
Oh.
So he broke his
only
Sandstorm.
19 seconds.
Yeah, but that's 19 seconds that you're not going to be farming. He's probably going to try to get the stack up in the meantime if he does connect, or he will connect. But looking at the mid lane, Mikatira, he is down to about half HP, 7 seconds on Scoochie, and Undertaker is relatively healthy. I mean, it looks like A is walking towards this lane. But I think Undertaker can put a huge chunk of damage out on Mikatira before anything really happens. Now, Mikatira does have the time lapse, so he shouldn't die here.
Probably try to bait with that.
But yeah, if Undertaker plays it safe, gets a little bit of damage on Mikatira and just backs off, maybe forces out the time lapse, then this will be a win for him. But if he gets a little too aggressive here, I can see him dying, especially with a rotation in from either the Tidehunter, who does have a TP, or Glacius, the Skywrath, who also has a TP.
Yeah, and the point you brought up earlier about Razor in the mid lane not needing like too much, like definitely not as much as the Shadow Fiend, which I would agree with, but not necessarily this game, because he really is the only source of right-click damage. He doesn't even have boots yet. So like when you run Razor as a mid and you've got your traditional like hard carry in the safe lane and someone decent, probably Void in the off lane these days, then he doesn't need too much. I think he just needs his mobility so he can actually chase and or run away. But as it stands, I think Undertaker is going to be in some trouble this game. He's way behind.
Well, yeah. The whole point behind that, though, is that he doesn't need the farm in that he won't get completely shut down if he doesn't get farm.
Yeah.
So if you've got a Shadow Fiend in the lane, he doesn't get anything, well, you can expect that Shadow Fiend to do absolutely nothing in the game. But Razor can still be effective, but you're right. If he doesn't have the farm, he isn't going to take on that carry role that he needs to take on. And it's all up to his team to try to create enough space for him to find the farm to catch up. But now that he's died a couple of times, I don't think it even matters. He's just completely getting shut down now. And We take a look. He's 11 for 3 in this mid lane against the 30 and 14 of his mid lane opponent. And he's a level behind, more than, or actually just about exactly a level behind, and he was against the dual lane. So he is really falling behind this lane, and there's not a lot that can help him catch up, and except for the Sand King getting a Blink Dagger and finding a bunch of kills. But as it stands, Undertaker is looking at quite an undertaking right now.
Yep, and then, but he doesn't need to get the mech. Benjaz has already picked up the Arcane Boots. If you look over at the Courier here, flying through the Radiant Jungle, it's got the recipe for the headdress and the buckler. And what does Pugna have? About 200 gold, so he's not too far from completing the mech mana boots. He should have that probably about 7-8 minutes. They haven't even taken the tier 1 tower yet, and that's a conscious decision. If they take the tower, you're going to hand over a ton of experience to the Tidehunter, which they don't really want to do. At 4 minutes, Offlane Tide... Sorry, at level 4, at 6.5 minutes for Offlane Tide, it's not exceptionally good. Obviously, you could be level 6 at this point if the game was going great for you. But he's not too far behind, so probably a little below average, I would guess, in terms of his experience so far. Axe is level 5, so he's doing considerably better. But a whole level ahead in the offlaners as well.
Ooh, it looks like Union Gaming having a lot of trouble right now. I think all those holidays are putting a strain on their internet.
Someone spilled some cerveza on the internet cables.
What the hell is cerveza?
Isn't that beer?
I don't know. I'm uncultured. I don't know about there's anything there.
It's Spanish for beer.
All right. Well, give me a cerveza now, as it looks like we're in for a very long pause.
Are you old enough?
Shh.
Well, we don't tolerate underage drinking over at Sivo. We run a tight ship.
Well, I don't know. How would the viewers know I'm underage?
That's true. He's not. He's 30. Listen to his voice.
I'm a 40-year-old war veteran, dude.
Exactly.
I've been
you
called
can actually
that.
drink when you're 18 if you're enlisted, as long as you're on base.
They wanted to change that, though. Can't believe it.
To what?
They
To
wanted
21?
they wanted to make on base
That's
to
so
21.
stupid.
It was. I mean, come on. What are you going to do? Those guys, they got nothing to do when they're not trading, so, you know, might as well let them.
All right, these pauses, man, a little ridiculous, making me not miss casting.
Oh, come on, man. You love this. You love this. Okay, fine. Let's go this direction. What does the next 5 minutes look like for either of these two teams? Wow, I'm going to say that, and they're going to... Okay. After the pause comes off. All right? You would make a really good genie. Just saying.
I would say Lich wants to get level 6, so that's going to take about a minute or two of that time. And then once Lich is level 6 and Tidehunter is level 6, hopefully, within that 5-minute mark, for the maybe 2 to 3 minutes, the second half of the 5 minutes, they're probably going to look to push and take some objectives with their big ultimates. You don't want to just sit on them. Although, with the Lifestealer and Weaver both farming well, it could just be sit and farm for Ban Earth. So if Ban Earth decides to do nothing, then it's Union Gaming who's got to group up and push towers with the Pugna. Try to find Razor some farm. They need to get the Blink Dagger on the Sand King, so some farming priority for both teams in the next 5 minutes. But I wouldn't be too surprised, especially if Ban Earth groups up and tries to take down some objectives. Take away the jungle, I think would be the smartest option here, away from the Sand King and the Axe, who are both using it pretty heavily.
All right, I'm just looking at Showcase View right now.
That's
and
my
I'm
recap. Is that still bugged? You should be careful with that.
I don't think it's bugged. I'm having a lot of
It
fun
used
looking
to,
at Axe stare
It wasn't
at the
bugged for
screen.
you. It's bugged for the people watching in game.
Oh.
On our glorious ticket, which
Oh,
you
yeah.
can buy.
You should buy. You should buy.
Because no one has that Juggernaut set, and everyone will be like, "Where did you get that Juggernaut set? It's so cool."
Yeah, you can tell people, oh yeah, I got it from Sivo. People be like, what's
And to
Sivo?
increase the prize pool.
Oh yeah, where we're at, like 31.46 or something like that? Something crazy?
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. I really like this. We got a mini compendium going on over here.
$3,461.
Oh
And
yeah.
Base prize pool was 1,000, so community has raised 2.4K. So shout out to community. Hopefully you're watching either on game or on the stream. So thanks for that. And we're still
Oh, yeah.
paused. So looks like my sarcastic answer was more correct than my serious answer.
Well, technically, your sarcastic answer was on the unamended version, whereas your serious answer was after the pause. So, I don't know if either one was more right. We got it? We're good? Xanders is going to figure out really soon that he screwed up his Sandstorm? All right. Let's get back in this game.
Did you buy the Sand King Darude shirt?
No, man.
It's actually really awesome in person.
If people would subscribe more, then I'd have enough money to, you know?
That's true.
Looking at you.
We're done. All right, watch the middle lane. Middle lane's where we wanted to look. The bait. The bait. Oh, I was going to time
The bait
lapse.
and switch.
Even time lapse doesn't break static link. That spell's so ridiculous.
It's amazing. It is the most incredible spell in the game. Just ask Kavost.
Yeah, there's a lot of Razor play, man. It got a bit boring, can't lie.
I don't know. What got boring was the Brewmaster Shadow Shaman every single game. That's what got boring. But we're past that.
Bottom lane, we got a Buckler, we got a Headdress. They've got a creep wave. They're pushing pretty hard. They've got the siege as well. It's the second siege of the game, so it looks like they will be trying to take this tower here pretty early on. And the Nether Ward goes down, so yeah, they should have it. No Tidehunter ult, so they're even going to try to take objectives before that tide is 6. They know that. I won't be surprised if they even try to push for 2. Maybe a little bit surprised. Because Lich isn't 6 either. So
looks like more action's going to happen here in the mid lane, though, as Undertaker takes a Frost Blast. It looks like AM Ikatura wanted to dive on that one, but they are holding off for the time being. Bottom will eventually fall. We figured that would happen. And Xanders, we saw him trying to stack up and take camps, but it looks like he's just resorted to hanging back for the time being. He's 1,200 gold, about halfway to his Blink Dagger, a little bit over, so he'll be getting that one up fairly soon. I imagine about 15 or pre-15 minute Blink Dagger, which will help, but in the meantime, Goody is farming like a champ up here in this top lane. 54 for 15, only short of the last hits of that of the Pugna, so not doing too bad here. He should be able to put some pressure on this tower, but I think that Union Gaming will be able to defend this if need be.
Yeah, Xander actually, he'll have the Blink Dagger in another like 15 seconds plus the time it takes for Sandstorm to kill. It's really not hard to jungle Sand King, but the most you need is level 3 or level 4, so you can have the 2 points in Sandstorm before you can farm. So that's like where you can get set back a lot if you can't get those levels early. But it looks like he has, I guess, just sitting down there in lane for the most part, taking some of that XP. This was stacked again by Razor, the big camp by the high cliff, so he'll farm that. And that should be level 6 and Blink Dagger. Meanwhile, up top, some more pushing coming into the top tier 1 on the Radiant side. A little under half HP right now.
Yeah, but in no danger of falling, I think. I really believe that Union Gaming, they don't want to lose this tower. They don't want to lose control of this big chunk of the map right here, especially because of the Ancients. But the one thing that I don't see happening right now is I don't see Tidehunter stacking those Ancients. And it looks like his build isn't going to allow for him to take Ancients at least in the next 15 or 10 minutes, but still, it's a really amazing thing that you can do with Tidehunter to just go ahead and farm Ancients. It looks like he will try to go onto Darky, but doesn't have enough mana for his ultimate. Ended up using an Anchor Smash to stop it.
There too.
Yeah, I mean, I think an ultimate there would have been at least a little worth it, but he didn't have enough mana.
Yeah, no mana.
It was that last Anchor Smash, man. It killed his mana. Unfortunately for him.
That spell should cost way more for how good it is.
Yeah, especially since you're able to just farm Ancients with it. It's incredible. I love watching a Tidehunter take no damage from like 5 stacks of Ancients. It looks like, though, Union Gaming, their top tower, it didn't fall. They did defend it, but they're going to go for more. They're going to push it all the way to ban Earth Spirit's top tower, and, you know, they should have this. It's gone. The trade, they want
This was the latter half of my 4-minute question, so you see both teams grouping up, taking objectives. Sand King got his, he got the Blink Dagger, and Union Gaming has taken 2 Tier 1 towers off the map, going to put their sights on mid. Actually, going to put their sights on defending this bottom Tier 1 tower if they do have TPs. Bit of a puppy pause here. Xander's looking to channel, he's level 6, almost level 7, Blink, and they don't know about the Blink because I don't think he's shown himself on the map yet, so this could be really big for Union Gaming right here.
Yeah, this could be huge if they can get it off. If they can stun Goody before he can get his rage off, grab a couple of TPs. Killing the Lifestealer here would be great. Now, it's not going to be pre-armlet, so he shouldn't get set too far behind this. But killing off a Lifestealer and protecting your tower is going to be #1 priority, especially a tower that's so huge for Roshan control and so huge for your jungle control. So Xanders is going to be looking to get that off. Hopefully, there is enough rotation to go after it. It looks like we've got a disconnect,
Axe has a
though.
TP on cooldown for 8 seconds. Jericho's got a TP. Pugna doesn't have a TP, so he's running there. He's also low on mana. Undertaker has a TP, so honestly, they can go. I think they'll be fine as we have ourselves another bit of a pause here.
Well, we could take this pause time to go ahead and moderate the channel. It looks like they're having a little bit of issues over there with spammers, but it doesn't really matter, as we're all here in game, and there's no spam in the chat here, so we're all good.
I'm spamming in game. Make it happen.
You're spamming spectator in game, dude.
Did you kick them, or are they in there?
What? Oh, no, they're gone. I got rid of them, dude.
Oh,
It's against the rules, man. You can't have anyone watching in the broadcaster
who
slots,
cares
though.
about the rules?
I care about the rules, man. I'm a rule follower. I'm that boring guy that snitches on you in class whenever you
Whoa.
spitball the annoying kid.
Alright, I'm out. I gotta leave. Can't associate with you. Well, I would have liked to have had people to talk to in the spectator chat, but I guess Tom kicked them all, so...
Whoa,
we're
who
gonna
the
have to
hell's
wait it out
Tom?
the old-fashioned way.
Who the
Ted,
hell's
sorry.
Tom, dude?
From Chicago.
From Chicago, downtown, man.
Yeah, chat's pretty Spanish right now.
So
I
you
can't really
mean
help.
gaming versus no Earth Spirit, dude? What do you expect?
I should just learn Spanish. I would be so much better at Dota if I learned Spanish.
No, you would. You'd be better at Dota, possibly, but every single time you said something, people would flame you.
Well, I wouldn't speak Spanish all the time, would I?
GG, mid no gank. All you'd say
Yeah,
in
that just gets
English.
said a lot. I had someone pick a Morphling today and then be like, what did he say? Like, he wanted us to gank middle or something. I was like, you're Morphling, just freaking deal with it, dude.
Good story. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be better, then I kind of forgot what happened. I blocked it. He built phase boots on Morphling.
That is awesome.
Why is that awesome? It's so stupid.
I had a Morphling that we dominated the game, and it turns out 30 minutes in that he didn't put a single point into his ultimate or into Morph. And he kept like spamming chat saying how good he was because he didn't need those 2 spells, and we threw the game and they pushed all the way to our Ancient. We didn't lose the game because I'm amazing, but just goes to show you, man, that if you're a Morphling and you don't level up Replicate or Morph, you're going to throw the game. Oh, I didn't see it. Was it really beautiful?
Who drew that?
I don't know. Let's see if I can do one better. Oh, yeah.
It was Lich. That was terrible.
That was the best circle you've ever seen, dude. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to go ahead, and this time I'm going to change the overlay I got back to the default so that it matches. It's a boring
That's
default, though.
fine.
I don't know, man. Lich did
It
another...
is.
Oh, we got the gun on the bottom. Xanders, he didn't end up getting it before the race. He will drop here with the Ancient Seal, bringing him down with that Arcane Bolt. Now Jericho, an Arcane Bolt following him. He will go down. But Goody, he's getting chased. The Static Link's on him. One attack. They're doing the damage it needs to do. Yeah, he's trying to toggle out of this. But I don't know if he can. He rages, but he doesn't get blocked out from the lightning. And, well, he will end up dropping. Meanwhile, Glacius, he's trying to get away. The Plasma Field will end up clipping him, but won't get the kill. And he will end up getting away. It's a 2-for-1, I believe. Jericho as well as Xanders does drop, but they get Goody.
Man, Infest was off a cooldown in like 2 seconds for that Lifestealer. It was so unfortunate. He bought a lot of time with that armlet toggled, but he dies. So a nice kill for Union Gaming. And even though they're behind a kill, they've taken all the tier 1 towers right now. They're sitting pretty good on the net worth charts here. 2,000 gold advantage right now. XP is still a bit in favor of Ban Earth, but it's creeping back towards equilibrium. And We'll have to see if they heal up and if they want to turn this into more of a farming game, or if they're still going to feel under the gun, like they have to push and take these towers down. I personally think they still have to sort of push and take down the towers. They need to kill this Lifestealer a couple more times. They really need to kill the Weaver, though. He hasn't died once. And he's got... I like his build here. He goes Treads, Aquila, Drum. So he's looking to just tank up and be a little bit more team fight oriented, as opposed to just like farming and split pushing like a lot of Weavers will do.
Yeah, his build is coming along. He's got 50 gold now in the bank. It looks like he's got his drums coming out to him on the courier. That's an interesting choice for the Weaver, but it's good. He's got a double damage rune now under his belt. He should have no trouble right now. And of course, the Lifestealer with the armlet as well as the Orb of Venom and 1,000 gold is doing fairly well. I think both these carries on No Earth Spirit are in a great position to just win this game by sheer farm. And it's up to Union Gaming. I think that they don't need to feel under the gun, and they do need to push and try to make a high ground break as soon as possible.
Radiant's top towers in bad
Yeah.
shape.
I mean, Benjaz for Union Gaming here on the Pugna, he's at 6.2k net worth, which is pretty far ahead. But
Speaking
he's a Pugna.
of, he
He's
might
easy to
go down
kill.
here.
Darky's not there to back him up with a nice blink into the call and the dunk, taking out the Tidehunter. Green beats red.
Yeah, that
oh, no,
dunk.
Other way. Red beats green.
Hold on, we've got the glimpse back. Who's that going to be on? I didn't quite see, but now, hey, he could be in a lot of trouble. The plasma field brings it down, but Fantasorian, he does have the rage. Unfortunately, at the tail end, the epicenter plus the burrow strike will end up picking him up. Now, Mikatira, oh man, they dropped the static right on him, and Darky will have the dunk. Meanwhile, Glacius will just fall to the disruptor there, and that's a 4-0, and this is when... You know, they were feeling a little under the gun. Now they're going to make their move, and they're going to grab a tier 2 for their troubles.
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah, that was really nice. Jericho with the pretty clutch Static Storm on top of the Weaver to keep him from running around. Even though they had sentries down, really good call by Axe as well. But I mean, they doubled up, but they killed the Weaver, which is the important part. Very important kill to get. He was on a killing spree. It was his first death. He was farming, not building the most carry of items, but still getting a lot. And they don't manage to take the tower. No Ags quite yet on the Razor, but looks like he's going to be building a drums after those treads just to be a little bit tanky and get up that move speed. So that's going to be great for him. He's caught up. I mean, 4.6k. He's second on his team, but trailing the 2 carries of No Earth Spirit. Probably going to go for the Ags because the mech was taken care of here by Benjaz. And he's also going for Ags to get that life drain or the lick off a 0 cooldown and way more range and damage.
Yeah, Ags seem like the option right now for both these guys, as it's really going to help them get those pushes going and make sure that they're able to take towers really quickly. And, you know, I wouldn't even put it past Undertaker to just start building the Ags Refresher build, just to burst down towers in no time at all. I can't remember what game it was we saw, but Arteezy went into their enemy's base when the enemy had no TPs and just ripped their base to shreds in, what was it, 15 to 20 seconds flat? Incredible.
I don't know, I was probably standing in line at the secret shop.
Oh, dude, did you give me
That was
anything?
day 1, I remember that. I didn't really buy too much, I just bought the figurines. But middle tier 1 tower goes down, Weaver took it. But he gets glimpsed back into a storm and a burrow strike, and they kill that Weaver, whose name I won't pronounce. Alex, I'm going to call him, dies. Undertaker now dominating, so really nice turnaround here for the Razor, who had a tough time middle.
Yeah, now he's 5-2-3, and he's got his next item coming out to him. It's going to be the Ogre Club, so building into the Ags items right now, or building into a BKB, either one's the option. That's really why I really like the Ogre Club pickup for those things. You have multiple options to go with it. But it looks like Broken, he's going to find a little bit of
What the heck?
yeah, a bad burrow strike, but they do get the call off. Broken will drop. And now the Mystic Flare, they missed that one.
Sick.
Xander's, he's looking to redeem himself. He wants another burrow. Glacius is just going to die straight up, though.
He's got
And
glimpse, but it's nighttime.
Yep, they're looking for a Darky. He blinks in, gets the vision. They get the glimpse, and A will drop. Now all that's left is the Weaver and the Lifestealer here, and they probably can't defend this 2v5. But they won't have to. Union Gaming, they're going to go ahead, back off. Roshan is available to them, or the mid-tier 2, or the bottom tier 2 if they so choose. And really, they're just looking to secure their lead here. They want to find gold. They want to find whatever they can to just push them that much further. And taking a look at the golden XP graphs, they're up about 4,000 gold, 4,000 XP, so they aren't slowing down anytime soon.
No, yeah, Razor was like 2,000 gold behind the Weaver and the Lifestealer, and in the last like 2 minutes, he's completely caught up to them. If they take this tower, he will surpass them, and Tower Gold is a part of that. But he's also been getting involved. He's now 6, 2, and 5 actually on that Razor, so doing
Looking
really,
to take
really
a
well.
fight, though. It looks like the bottom is going to be where it starts. Undertaker goes ahead and links up Goody. This could be an issue if Goody loses all of his damage here. Darky, he's getting focused up, but he's not dying to Goody's auto attacks. He does die to the Infest, though. Meanwhile, Razor battling up himself on a regen rune. He will end up popping it, but Benjez in a little bit of trouble. The kinetic field couldn't have been better timed. Sorion, though, he is backing up, relatively low HP. He does have his armlet ready to go. He will pop it. There's a Sandstorm right on top of a Sentry Ward, and he is going to go down. Undertaker stealing again some damage, but he might just fall here. He's taking a lot of damage from Tira, and he's just going to drop. No Earth Spirit. They end up taking the fight there, giving Weaver the mega kill streak of Undertaker. So a nice bit of gold going quite the opposite way. And if we take a look at the graphs, I mean, I bet it'll just be a huge, maybe 3,000 or 4,000 gold swing, and it looks like it's going to be just that. So, Union Gaming, you know, they get a little confident, and no Earth Spirit, they punish it, and that's exactly what their lineup can do. So, Union Gaming back to square one, and ready to try to make it go again as they see Mikatira. They call him in. If they can get the dunk here, they need it. They need to do it, but he ends up time-lapsing himself. They still get him. They just need one more blink and dunk, but blink 3 seconds, and he is way too far away. So the bug does end up evading the bug hunters, and there's a better word for that, but I could not quite think of it. The exterminator. Thank you.
There you go.
Yeah, it takes me a little bit. As I'm a week off casting about too, so
I'd say
don't worry.
It's been a while, so we're allowed to have no idea what we're talking about.
Definitely.
Yeah, so I guess Disruptor was just lagging a little bit behind, just not quite close enough to get the glimpse back when they did have vision, and that sentry was down, but I'm surprised they haven't bought a gem yet. I guess you don't really need one. If you're pushing, like, you know where the Weaver's going to be. He's going to be coming to you, so you just drop a sentry when you're pushing up against the towers, but having a gem wouldn't be a bad investment either. Just put it on Darky. He's not too easy to bring down, but they smoke up.
This is a double back.
But they're not.
Yep, the coveted strategy, or the famed strategy. And now, they're going to go in. They find Mikatira. They're going to have to call him here, and that's exactly what they do. Will they get the dunk? They do end up getting it, but maybe at the cost of Darky's life. Hold on, Goody dropping really low, but gets the infest before the dunk comes in, and he will end up getting away here in the
his own
in the Mecha Creeps. He does end up getting forced out of it, but Undertaker, he's going to try to TP. Now hold on, the Lightning could end up taking out Goody. He does get the TP out. Lightning would have killed Goody if he didn't get the TP, so well, I think it's either he saves his life or kills the Lifestealer, and I think he's quite happy with what he got there, but Goody, I mean, he's got the Necro book, and he gets away with them, but I think the trade is more favorable towards Union there. They end up taking out, what is it, Mikatira? Yeah, they take him out really early.
And they forced the buyback, and then they didn't really suffer any losses after the Weaver bought back. But the buyback into the Infest was a pretty clutch play there as soon as that Static Storm ran out. But yeah, it didn't quite work out too amazing for no Earth Spirit, because they didn't need to force that buyback. They could have probably just disengaged and cut their losses.
Yep, so now they're going to go, it looks like Union Gaming, they're going to go ahead and go on to Mikatira again. If they get him this time, this could be a huge kill. They call him in. Now with the Epicenter, they get him. That was a dieback. And now, Xanders, you can't evade the Ice Blast or the Chain Frost, but you can end up baiting out something. And he could die here with the Urn as well as the Lightning. No, the HP removal doesn't cancel the positive Urn charge. Now Jericho, he's going to get finished up by Goody here on the tail end of his Static Storm. Isn't able to pick up anyone in the meantime, but you know what? That was Jericho for Mikatira, and a trade that I think Union Gaming are really happy about.
Yeah, Disruptor for a Weaver seems like a pretty good trade to me. And they took every hero's time.
Hold on. They end up picking up A. Oh, man. The Urn, it saved him, but he gets a little bit over-aggressive. And Darky, he's doing absolute work here. I mean, those calls have been on point. Getting the Weaver, getting the Lich. I mean, he's doing everything he needs to be doing right now, despite looking like he was in a difficult lane. And hold on, he's going to actually take the Ancient stacks now with the help of Xanders. Like, this is a really, really huge amount of golden XP going the way of Union Gaming that was originally going to no Earth Spirit. So Axe, he's doing what Axe does best.
Yeah, I like the blade mail pickup early. It gives you some right click damage, which isn't super important for Axe, but it also gives you the blade mail active, which is fantastic when you call people. Pretty obvious combo. Probably one of the most like straightforward combos between a hero's skill set and an item in the game. I can think of a few others besides Blink Dagger, I guess, with quite a few heroes. That's definitely one of the best. So using it nicely, got it early. It's much better, I think, than just getting the Vanguard. Like you have 2.5 strength per level, so he's a pretty tanky hero. He is a strength hero. As opposed to getting a Vanguard, I like that just getting the blade mail earlier. The armor really helps when you get that extra HP per level.
Classius, he could be in a little bit of trouble. Actually, it's Jericho who might be in a little bit of trouble, but Classius, he decides he doesn't want to make a go on this. He hasn't been feeling too comfortable with his Mystic Flares, and Aldon Courier might have been in a little bit of trouble there, but Classius is just going to go ahead and wait on in the trees here, and it looks like he's drawing out the correct circle. He knows that all of Union Gaming are pushing up into the top lane, but at the moment, they are without their Sand King, which means that a fight wouldn't be too terrible to take here, and they might just go for it. The pings are flying every which way.
Nyx bomb.
Yep, they're trying to do some scatter. Yep. If they go in alone, though, they will get bursted down. There's no question about it. It didn't look like the rest of the team was behind them to make any follow-up. So it's a good thing they didn't initiate there, but they really needed to try to do something before the Sand King came in. And now, with Zenders joining up the team, it looks like it's just going to be the standard 5v5 staring at each other across the high grounds in hatred, as neither one really wants to make the first move.
Fedliv Discord on the Sand King and almost a 4-staff. Xander has been farming like a boss. I'm gonna have to watch this this demo or this replay and see his farming patterns. I mean, obviously I was watching the game, but not just focusing on the Sand King.
All right, so this is where the siege begins, and Boken, he goes straight behind. He catches 3 with his Ravage there. The Static Storm goes down, absolutely missing everyone. Now with the Chain Frost, does go in. Bounces on Undertaker and Darky. Undertaker not taking any damage with the BKB, but Darky realizing he's now in a little bit over his head. He does get bursted down a little too close. Meanwhile, Pugna does end up going down in the back lines. A glimpse back onto Tidehunter to keep him away. And that'll be the end of that. 2-0, and Noah Spirit, they end up defending their base.
Yeah, Pugna a little bit too far forward. I think it would have been better for Union Gaming. They've taken all the outer towers right now. I'm not sure if there's been any dewarding, but if we go ahead and look at their vision, they don't really have any. They've got one ward here, spotting out the bottom rune, and that's it. So I think put up some more aggressive wards, then maybe run a smoke gank while farming a bit, and then take Roche. Maybe put it on the Pugna, because you jump the Pugna, you're going to kill him every time. He's super squishy. Maybe the Force Staff that's now finished on the Sand King helps. If he was forced there, he probably would have lived. Then maybe they turn the fight. But if Pugna doesn't get off any of his spells, they're going to lose the fight every time. And that was like a one-person Ravage, too. It can get way worse for Union Gaming. So breaking high ground, this is going to be pretty tough.
Well, actually, the key thing with that Ravage is they did end up catching the Axe in that Ravage. Like, he got caught in the tail end of it. So if he was able to get the blink in and call, then your Pugna would have survived, and the team may have gone different, or the fight may have gone differently. But now it looks like they did end up taking that fight, and it was a really good fight for them to take. Taking a look at the Golden XP, it's another little bit of a swing in Golden XP, but it's still well in favor of Union. They still have this this game. They've got a rather tight grip on it, and they just need to not throw away fights like that. I mean, they cannot let people get caught in 2 or 3 man Ravages like what happened, and they can't let Benjes be way too far forward. And yep, I really agree with you here, as we're going to go into another pause. Oh, man, I'm pretty sure there's a rule on this.
I'll be back.
Yeah. Go for it. I'll just go ahead and interact with the chat as much. Oh, no, Prove's on it. Shout out to Prove. We got our own moderator in here now, so no more Spanish spam.
I wish I was moderated.
Dude, you can be, dude.
I was. I did it myself once. Someone must have undone it.
Someone doesn't like you.
Man.
Hold on. The countdown. We have the goes. That was what? A 30-second pause? Wow.
That was like a normal pause. Madness. Yeah. Look at this Lifestealer bomb over here. This time he's in the Weaver. They're expecting him to be in the Tidehunter, but he won't be. There's no Ravage for 30 seconds, so I guess baiting out the Ravage, too, is a pretty good way. Like, you could push now for high ground in the next 30 seconds, because all the ultimates are really low cooldowns, honestly, for Union Gaming. I think Epi is going to be the highest by a large margin. Yeah, 2 minutes on that one.
Right, and it looks like we're going to have a Roche attempt from No Earth Spirit.
Yep, Dire can go into the Roche pit. Not going to be super fast. It is just two of them, the two cores and that Necro book tanking up there with the Necro Warrior. And Roche is going to go down. Union Gaming have no clue. They're just like trying not to get ganked and trying to bait this Disruptor Jericho up in the top lane. But Roche goes down 26-17. Weaver's going to go ahead and take the Aegis, so now won't be forced to buy back in any of the fights. And he's already got a couple triple kills in a few of the fights that got a little unorganized for Union Gaming, which is where Weaver thrives.
Right, so it looks like we're going to group up again. Might have another push under the top lane. This time I think it's going to be a little bit more careful on the side of Union Gaming. No, they're going to go for the pick onto Glacius and immediately back off. Xander's biting off a little bit more than he could chew there and realizing
no vision of the team. Like, what was he doing?
Yeah, that could have easily gone the other way.
The price, but that was crazy.
Yeah, that easily could have gone the way of Nora's Spear. Getting a pick off right now into Xander's could be really huge if they are able to complete it. And what that would do is that would open up the next team fight. I mean, they take a fight with Sand King out of the game. They don't have to worry about Epicenter, which is arguably one of their biggest damage dealers at the moment, until you start seeing the huge Ags pickups onto Razor, who he did end up going for the Black King bar first, as was pointed out. So hold on. It looks like Darky, he's going to go in onto Goody, and this could be a kill here. They just need the dunk, and he's going to infest onto the only creep that's there. Now turn the fight onto Darky, who does get Ancient Sealed, and now the Chain Frost to bring up that kill. A BKB onto Benjaz, who will use it to TP out. I think that's his 10-second BKB, but now Xander's, he needs to get himself away from here. Does get the Blake. The Scoochie didn't end up connecting. Came off, and now the Burrow Strike into the trees. Can they get the kill on him? They cannot cancel that TP. He's way out of sight, way out of mind, and will get himself away. So what was supposed to be an easy kill on Goody turns into Darky, well, just getting himself in a really sticky position, and he goes down. We have a disconnect right now on the Tide, though.
They're not pausing like men.
Oh, yeah.
He does have Ravage, but I don't know. Well, honestly, Lifestealer can just jump in Tide, then play Tide, right? Jump in Ravage, then switch to Lifestealer, jump out, and then do everything else. I'm down. Yeah, so Axe is really squishy when he gets Ancient Seal and then Focused. He still dies almost immediately. Like, his HP just disappeared in that fight, so it's not like it's too much of an issue. Obviously, if Axe catches the damage dealers, or they take out that Skywrath or the Lich first. And honestly, Chain Frost hasn't done much this game. It's usually just bouncing between BKB heroes, because we do have the BKB on Benjaz, on the Pugna, BKB here on Undertaker. Xander can blink before it hits him, or he can force staff away from everyone else. Or even Burrow Strike so that it doesn't bounce anymore. But yeah, so far, no Earth Spirit bringing themselves back into this game. They've got about 3 to 4k gold on the board that they can easily take in those towers, and some kills to go along with it. So they're really not that far behind. 7.5k on the charts, but that can easily be turned back to 0 with winning, taking a couple kills and taking the remaining towers. And they are trailing in XP. They have been since about the 15-minute mark, but it is also going back down towards equilibrium pretty rapidly. And looks like Goody will give us the go-ahead to resume this game for the
fifth time?
Something like 1,000th time.
Man, Peruvian pause. They weren't kidding.
They're Venezuelan.
Okay.
Well, Goody is. I don't know about anyone else on the team, because
Well,
I don't know anybody else on this team.
Well, the Goody's Venezuelan? I thought it was Chilean.
I think he's from Venezuela.
Really? Well, you learn something new every day. I'm sorry, Chad. I said Chile.
I don't know. I'll ask him. He's farming well. He built an Necro book, which is strange, I will say.
Yeah, typically
As
we
to
don't see
why,
Necro onto
I don't
Weaver. I
know.
mean, it could be a more... Oh, hold on. A solo epi onto Glacius. This time Xander says, okay, well, I'm getting the solo on you. Now, he puts down a 110-second cooldown on his best spell, so he's going to have to worry about that, and I think no Earth Spirit, they can play around that if they really really have the Macho to. Looks like A, he's going to get gone on, but immediately TP out, and there's another cooldown. 70 seconds for the this Eye of the Storm, so... no Earth Spirit. They've just been given a green light to try to make something happen.
Yeah, but it's quickly turning back to it's yellow right now, and it'll be red
Okay.
in a second. Skywrath is not that high of a level, only level 11, so he's back. Aegis reclaimed in 3 minutes, so it's already been 3 minutes since we saw the Roche. Weaver has the Aegis. He's got a Lincoln's, Treads, Drums. So he tanks up early in the game, expecting that tower push, and he wanted to be in fighting shape early. I actually did like his itemization. Now he goes back for the Lincolns, which seems kind of useless this game. I think a BKB would have been better because, like, not much to dodge with the Lincolns. Like, Call is still going to go through it, and that's probably what you're going to get caught by. And then everything else is just big AoE damage. I guess Glimpse is pretty nice, but again, BKB can solve that issue. So we'll see what he goes for next. Probably going to look to just get the Desolator at this point, though.
There is an infest, though. You got your 2 cores and 1 body, and now they're going to make their way down towards their Ancient. Now, these guys were there to pick off the Tide, and they still remain, so getting a little greedy, but it
Those
looks like
bugs.
the Swarm that didn't end up connecting. They will find Benjaz, though. He drops the ward. Can they pick him up? They will with the Chain Frost. The mini-stun, too strong. And Enigma shed a single tear that day, as Benjaz will end up going down.
Yeah, the mini stun that apparently goes off before the ball even gets there. Or maybe he just canceled, I don't know. I doubt he would have canceled his TP.
Oh, yeah. So, at the moment, Union Gaming, they end up dropping a pick for a pick, but Ban Earth, they didn't end up using their Ravage when Bukin got picked, so didn't panic, which is a really good news for them as they do have it back. But Epicenter's back, I think. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's ready to go, and the Ags is done on Razors. So, at the moment, Union Gaming, I mean, they always seem like they've got a firm grip on this game, but every now and then it kind of sways a little bit. Right now, though, I mean, with those item pickups, I think Union Gaming are well in control of the next fight, and anything less than a throw should be a win for them.
Boom! He's from Venezuela. Good he is.
Yep.
So repping that good old South American Doto. I don't know where the rest of his squad is from because
Apparently
Relic used to
2
be on
are
No Earth
American.
Spirit. But yeah, I saw someone say no ES Gringo, so I figured some of them were from North America. And a lot of them were before, but there's a lot of stand-ins right now, so I'm guessing they're full South American right now.
Well, I think there's a lot of shuffling going on in these amateur teams, too. Like,
And every team.
well, and every team, but I think more so in the amateur team, you've got a lot of players who really want to break into the scene. And, you know, when you're playing for the amateur teams, I mean, if you're really wanting to go all the way and go to the pro leagues, then just winning or just doing well in some of these tournaments isn't enough for you. And you're going to constantly be shuffling to try to get some exposure to yourself, as well as try to win more and hopefully make it big. So a lot of these guys are going to constantly be shuffling, constantly switching teammates, but it's really the individual players sometimes that are the ones that you want to look for.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so hard to break through as an entire team, right? Because there's such a big gap to climb. Like, you can look at TI4 and maybe I should start this story later because there's
there's a
here in
smoke,
the
a
mid lane
blink.
looking forward.
And they don't end up spending the Ravage, so good control on them. They just use the Infest for that one, and they pick up Jericho in no time at all. So the Static Storm is on off the menu right now as Union Gaming. They're just going to try to huddle up, maybe try to get defense going. But at the moment, it looks like a 5-man barrel down mid. Darky, he's waiting for that call, but his team isn't there to follow up. And now it looks like no Earth Spirit. They're going to spread out now. Darky, he won't be able to find a good call at the moment. Maybe pick up Mikatira, and that's what he's going to do. He finds it, both of them, pops the BKB as well as a Blade Mail, and in comes Xanders. They end up picking the kills here. Xanders will drop, and Goody, he's not done. He's going on to Darky. The Necro Creep giving him that move speed. Gets a call out, so his armor is through the roof, and he will get away. Now Xanders buys back, uses Force Staff to get Darky out of that. Now with a Static Storm going down onto Mikatira, it will be Xanders to take a fall again to Goody. But It's a 2-for-1 at the moment, 2-for-2, I guess. And Goody, he's just going to go straight on the tower. His items, he's got a... yeah. So that's 70 seconds out.
Rocks have fallen.
Holy, what the hell just happened? Yeah,
mistakes were made on the side of No Earth Spirit is what happened. Now Darky comes back into the swing of things. Going to get off a call, delaying people even further. And they will get the dunk off there on the Lich. That extra move speed, going to try to chase, but Goody's way too far away. Finds himself a regen rune as well. So a little happy about that, but probably not too happy that they lost the entire lane of bottom racks.
Oh no, Goody.
But No Earth Spirit are still in the game.
Oh, they get the call on him now with the blade mail. He still has a rage, but oh man, he's dead. The dunk, they tried to get the dunk, but it wasn't soon enough. They caught him with Darky getting an invis rune, and he just walked up. I think Goody just got a little over-aggressive, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was a glimpse to pull him back.
Oh, he went back. Wait. So the rune was regen top. It was grabbed, then it respawned immediately for invis on Axe, and then I guess Axe went and found him.
Uh-huh. That's exactly what happened, and, well, that's the end of that. As Goody, I mean, he's taken his fall there, and they lose their bottom racks. Things aren't looking too great for No Earth Spirit. It looked like they could take control and maybe take a couple of good picks, good team fights, but it was the perfect ploy in the mid lane as they just kept them occupied while, to no surprise to us, Undertaker just went in with Ags and Eye of the Storm and laid waste to their base.
Alright, I got word. I was looking over and it happened to just see Bricks, who also played along with Relic here on No Earth Spirit. It was just Goody and 4 Americans before, which is how I remember the team. Apparently, the Gringos are taking a break for a little bit, but will be returning based on his brief Twitch statement. That's what I would guess.
Yeah, I really want to see Relic come back and play again. He was one of my favorite players just because he made RTZ go crazy.
His fame was brief. He was
his no talismans.
He couldn't win a LAN, so he couldn't talk anymore. It was unfortunate.
Wait, he played in the LAN? Which one?
They were at MLG Full Sail like a year or so ago. They got wrecked, which is unfortunate because like people thought they were going to be the favorites, but a lot of the teams couldn't really bring their whole rosters, so it kind of sucked.
That's too bad. Still, Relic, one of my, still got to be one of my favorite amateur players, and I can't wait for him to come back on this. In fact, it might be, who would he take the place of? It's the mid laner, right? So he'd be in for Glacius?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think this is a permanent roster whatsoever, but obviously some still pretty good
Roshan,
players.
stuff happening. Goody, he's dropping really low, but Darky, he's getting all of his life sapped away from him and ends up dropping. Now Undertaker in a little bit of trouble as it looks like an Epicenter got charged up, but immediately canceled now. We have Boken. He will end up dropping Mikatina as well, and just like that fight just turns a complete 180 as Mikatina takes a drop. Now Phantom Soyan, he's going in onto Benjaz. Benjaz isn't able to get himself to survive that, and he will end up dropping. Now Jericho in a little bit of trouble. Arcane Bolt flying out as well as Mystic Seal, Ancient Seal rather. Another Arcane Bolt to seal the deal, and Goody going right back in. Undertaker in a little bit of trouble. No TPs out for Undertaker, and whoa! Glacius. What the hell? Just cleaned up Lifestealer and almost destroyed Glacius. So, wow, that was a 4 for 5. Everyone's dead except for Glacius.
Yeah, that's weird. I think Lifestealer could have lived. Glacius like started TPing for a second. I think he maybe went to use like Wand or Atos and click TP, and then I think if he had just attacked instead of that like couple seconds or milliseconds of TPing, then they both would have lived. But whatever, the fight was pretty ridiculous. Roshan stands. It's still very low, and a lot of the die are respawning. And yeah, Razor respawns last, so basically they still secured the Rosh. Like the fight was worth it.
Well, they lose all 5 in the process, which is a huge amount of golden XP to give away. But
it wasn't worth it for Union Gaming. Worth it for No Earth Spirit.
All right. So I mean, they're going to be No Earth Spirit's going to be in a position to contest this again too, which is amazing. They've got Goody coming back in 10 seconds against the 25 of Razor here, of Undertaker. So Zenders, he's just getting himself in position at the moment. He wants to be ready for the defense. But it looks like, hold on, it's going to be No Earth Spirit. They're going to be the first in the pit And Xanders, I don't think he knows about this just yet, but he's charging Epicenter. It's going to be a little bit too late as he gets it off as Miikatina picks up the Aegis. Where the hell is Xanders? He jumps back. Oh, he picks up the solo Lich.
The Lich, yeah. I guess
Wow.
that's worth it. Weaver does kill the Roshan and gets away with the Aegis, though, so...
Yeah, that's very worth it.
Lost.
Top tower's in bad shape.
Well, nothing's really lost, but another lane of Rax might be lost because there's no buyback on Tidehunter right now. And he doesn't have the Ravage. Okay, he'll come back with it, but 40 seconds right now going against a Pugna. And is the Ags up yet? Yeah, Ags Refresher on the Razor. I haven't even looked at this guy. Now he's got Ags Refresher, apparently. So the tower should be dying. I don't know why they're so incredibly scared of the Skywrath.
Miikatina, he's hanging back behind
This-
everyone,
yeah.
though. He wants to get that Infest Bomb off, but he's trying to find a target. Undertaker is a difficult target to go for. If you start on him, you definitely can't stop on him because the rest of his team's going to come in and they're going to clean you up. So it looks like they're going to have to find something soon as they end up spending Glyph. They can't waste any time. It's Jericho they're going to go for, but immediately Darky, he comes in. Goody, he has Rage on. He doesn't take any Blade Mail damage, and now Jericho gets cleaned up. Undertaker, though, sapping damage from Miikatina. No, he's not sapping from anyone. There's a Ravage, but it doesn't catch anyone. But Xander's on the backlines, who will end up getting Mystic Flared. He does survive, though. He has the Ghost Scepter. Not really blocking out any damage at the moment, but goes in with a Burrow Strike, gets himself cleaned up, but in the process, he gets 4 dead as Darky dunk, 2 gems on the deck ground, and Miikatina will pick up 1. Benjaz picks up the other, but Undertaker, he might be in a little bit of trouble here as Miikatina, he's jumping in, got the phase, passing the creeps, he's going in. The bugs are gone, so the armor reduction isn't there, but hold on with his double damage. Miikatina might need to be careful. He doesn't end up spending the Scoochie damage just yet. There's a double on the Undertaker. Here comes Buchan. He wants that gush, but he can't quite find it. Razor, too fast. Now Darky. Miikatina just getting a little over aggressive here, and now could he get dunked? He won't get dunked. Miikatina, he's still in. He's going for Undertaker. He wants that kill, but he gets Ghost Scepted. He gets whatever it's called. Now with Darky, he might go down, but Buchan gets himself dunked. Doesn't end up dealing the damage it needs to, but he will go down anyway. And the gem hits the deck. Miikatina does end up dropping to Benjaz, who comes in with the Nether Ward. And Decrepify was the word I was looking for in the middle of that fight, by the way,
Yeah,
going back.
Just
But
up big time. I don't know why he decreped the Weaver. He should have decreped the Razor, who was going to die, and then they would have kept the Razor alive, and then Weaver would have died. But
heat of the moment,
I mean,
dude.
I think that was the plan. They were standing on top of each other, and honestly, the targeting system of Dota is kind of sketchy sometimes. So,
Yeah,
I don't know.
that went from a hectic fight to a chase to another hectic fight, and I think everyone was just losing their minds at that point.
indeed. S Loco, man.
Yeah, the fact still stands, though. Union Gaming, they climb higher and higher. And the oh god, I was gonna mention what's the band I'm thinking of? Van Halen. You got dreams. You got to climb higher and higher, way up to the sky. That was a little late for it to be funny. Whatever.
Yeah. I don't even know what song that is from Van Halen.
Dreams.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Oh,
feel
come
like that's
on,
one
dude.
of their less popular songs.
It's amazing. It's got the most
Which
uplifting.
album is it on?
So, oh man, dude.
Sounds like a 1984 album.
Yeah, it was an early one. I don't know. I'm not a big like talk by album kind of guy because I listen to most of my music like
only
through
listen to Van
Spotify.
Halen too.
I'll let you know after the end of the cast, dude, or maybe during the break I'll look it up.
I don't know. It seems
I'll
like a
play
pretty
it during the
spot
break. I'll play it during the break.
right now.
I got Spotify, dude. I'll
Forgot
just
what
load it
Van
up to
Halen song
Spotify.
this was.
Dreams, dude.
No, I know. What album it was on? Whatever.
Just type it in, dude. You'll find
I
it.
was joking. Talk about Van Halen instead of Dota. That's what I'm getting at.
What's going on right now that we can talk about? I mean, Xanders, he dodges out an auto attack with his Sandstorm, next level stuff. Bottom lane's pushing in with those mega creeps, those pseudo mega creeps, and middle lane's missing a tier 3. But aside from that, like, it's just no Earth Spirit getting starved at the moment.
Yeah. Probably they will die from starvation pretty soon. Looking at the net worth charts, Razor Pugna way out front. Weaver's still pretty dangerous, but he doesn't have a lot of right-click damage. He did go Lincoln's BKB. I think he could have just went BKB Desolator, and they would be in a much happier place this game.
Definitely.
And they would have had that a lot earlier. But I don't know. I would question that a little bit. Maybe feeling, he's a stand-in right now. I don't know anything about the player. Maybe he's like excited to be playing with Goody, and he's being a little more safe. But I don't know. It's not terrible, but I don't think it was optimal.
This is Refresher's ultimate now going on for Undertaker, and he's just going to go straight into the thick of things. He's popped his BKB. Both ultimates are online, but he cannot close the distance. They're going to waste right now. Meanwhile, in the middle, thick of the fight, the rest of the Earth Spirits just getting themselves cleaned up, so it doesn't really matter. But here goes Mikatina, and yep, there's when we see the lightning flash and the epilepsy start. As Weaver gets cleaned up, the lightning bolt does catch the little bug, and the GGs will fly. So that's the end of that game, and No Earth Spirit. They put on a good show, a lot of good fights, but they just ultimately fell further and further behind. Losing that bottom racks was not exactly the event they wanted to happen. But
not a good trade.
No, not at all. But I feel like the tone of the game was set way before that, and you know, the rest of it was just them trying to fight back, and they weren't able to get it. So, still a good show, and still anyone's game for Game 2, but Game 1 does go the way of Union, as we will be taking a short break fairly soon. But before that, I am going to